Hello to all my kindergarten friends. As you hopefully know by now, I'm Mrs. Thompson and I'm your art teacher. And for our lesson this week, we are going to make a line monster. Now, as you can see, this is not a scary monster. He's a cute, happy, friendly monster. And as we're drawing it, we're going to be learning about different kinds of lines, like zigzag lines and wavy lines and another kind of wavy line that's called a scalloped line, a dotted or dashed line, and a curlicue line. And we're going to draw him and we're going to color him. You'll need a piece of paper. You will need some crayons and markers. Now, if you only have crayons, that's okay. If you only have markers, that's okay. If you have both of them, that's fantastic, okay? But hopefully you have one or the other. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's get started with our line monster. Now, I am going to start out with markers, and then later when I'm coloring it, I'll use crayons. If you don't have markers, you can go ahead and just use your crayons. But if you do have markers, I recommend starting out with those, okay? So pick out a color, and it can be any color that you want it to be. I'm choosing blue. You can also choose blue if you want, but you don't have to. And we're going to start out towards the top of our paper and make our monster's eyes. Now, I'm going to have it towards the top, but it's not going to be touching the top. So you don't want your monster like right here touching the top of your paper because we want to leave a little space there. We're going to have it here so it's near the top, but it's not touching the top. And it's your monster, so you can make the eyes look however you want. And you can put how many you want. For example, you might just put one big eye right in the middle. You could have two eyes, kind of like human beings do. Your monster could have 3 eyes. I wouldn't make more than 4 though, because if you make too many eyes, it'll just kind of be a little too cluttered and look a little too crowded. I am personally going to do one big eye. So right here, see how I'm practicing with my finger first so I can see the size and make sure it's where I want it. And I'm going to draw a large circle. And then I'm going to put another circle inside it. Notice how I kind of put it over to the side. And then I'm going to color that circle inside solid with my marker. And notice I'm not scribbling. We're in kindergarten now, so we are not scribbling. Only preschoolers scribble. You are too big now to scribble. Look at that. And you can even, if you want, you could add a few eyelashes. You don't have to. I know sometimes the boys don't want anything to do with that, but you can if you want. Okay? So then when you're done with that, be sure you put the cap on your marker and be sure you hear that little click because you don't want your markers to dry out. All right, so now I'm going to do my monster's mouth. I'm going to use red. You can use any color you want. And you can make your monster's mouth look any way that you want it to look. I'm going to give mine kind of a crooked smile. And he's got it open a little bit. All right. And you can see just a little bit of his tongue there. He's really happy. All right. So go ahead and draw your monster's mouth. You can also give him teeth if you want. Maybe he has a couple of little fangs. He's still a happy, friendly monster, but he could still have some teeth. He needs to go to the orthodontist. Okay. So draw your monster's mouth. Teeth optional. All right, now we're going to draw the top of our monster's head. So I am going to choose another color. I'm going to use this kind of teal turquoise color. Now I'm going to practice with my finger first. I want the top of his head to be about here, and it's going to curve down and go off the paper. Curve down and go off the paper. So it's going to be like this, almost like I'm drawing a little hill here. And again, it's a good idea to practice with your finger first. And you can kind of picture it in your mind using your imagination. Okay? So now watch Miss Thompson first. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to curve down and go off the edge of the paper. And then I'm going to go back up to where I started and curve down and go off the other edge. All right? And then if you want to give them like some little ears, you can do that. And again, you can make them look any way you want. They do not have to look like Miss Thompson's. I'm just coloring in this little part of the ear. I'm not going to color the whole thing in. Just coloring this little portion in. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And you can make the ears look different. You can even give him a little antenna if you want. Mine's kind of more like a little satellite dish. If I had more room at the top, I'd do the kind where you have a line and the little ball at the top. It looks cute. All right. Now we are ready to start doing our lines. And we are going to do 5 different kinds of lines. And we are going to start towards the bottom of our paper, and we're going to be pretty close to the bottom of our paper. Now you don't want to be touching it. You just want to be close to it. Again, see how I'm practicing with my finger first, okay? So I'm going to pick up a marker. I've got my green. You can use any color you want. And watch Miss Thompson first. I'm going to make a zigzag line. And it's going to go up and down, all the way across until it goes off the other side. So see, it's really close to the bottom, but it's not touching it. Oh, kind of touched there. That's okay. All right, so there's my first line, a zigzag line. I'm going to change colors, and this time I'm going to use this color. It's kind of a pinkish red. Okay, so for this line, for this line, it is going to be a wavy line. Now again, watch Miss Thompson first. I'm going to be above this one, and it's going to go right about here. Okay, so watch Miss Thompson first. All right, see that wavy line. So pick a marker and go ahead and make your wavy line. Again, be sure you put the caps on your markers when you're done. Your family just bought you those markers and you don't want them to already dry out. Okay, next, switching markers again. I'm using a purple. This looks almost navy blue on the screen, but it's purple. And we are going to make a line that looks kind of like the waves and the water. Grown-ups call this a scalloped line. Now again, it's right above here. Again, notice how I'm practicing, so I know where I want it to be. And it's going to look like this. It goes down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Again, notice how all of them start on one side and go all the way to the other side. Okay, change markers. I'm using orange now. And this line is going to be what you call a dotted or dashed line. It's basically a bunch of short lines all in a row. So watch Miss Thompson first. Again, I'm going to do it right about here, practicing with my finger first. And so it's just a series of short lines. It's all like they're lined up to go somewhere. Okay, change markers. Be sure you get that cap on there. If you don't hear that click, it's not on. And if you have to get help from a grown-up to get them on, that's okay. When we get back to school and you're here with Miss Thompson, I can always help you get the cap back on if you need to. All right, now we're going to have one more line. This one's actually my favorite line. And it is the curlicue line. It goes round and round and round, kind of like the shockwave at Six Flags. So I'm going to curlicue all the way across the paper. All right, and then I have my line monster with my different lines. Sorry about that. And as you can see, he's really cute. Now we're going to move to coloring him with crayon. Okay, so before we start coloring our line monster, I want to show you something when it comes to coloring. I'm going to show you the wrong way to color and the correct way to color. So this one with the X, I'll use kind of a reddish color. This will be the wrong way. This will be the correct way, all right? Now, a lot of times I see kids when they just started kindergarten, like you guys, and they go to color something, and they color like this. They're just going all over the place in a gazillion different directions, and then they're like, done! But is that really giving it your best? Instead, when you color, I want you to color in one direction. You could color up and down. You could color side to side. You could color at an angle like I'm doing. And I also want you to try and cover all of the white. Okay, because when you color, that's what you're doing. You're trying to get rid of the white and fill it up with color. And if you look at this one, compared to this one, is this filled up with color? It's not, because we have all of these white spots. Now, this person colored it wrong, but I could go back over it right on top, and I could try to fix it. It'll never look as nice as that one because you can still see all those squiggly, scribbly lines, but I can go on top of it and at least fill it with color and cover up that white. And even that improves it, okay? So when you color, don't color in a gazillion different directions and scribble. Color in one direction and fill up the white. We want to make the white go away and fill it with that color, okay? So keep that in mind when we are coloring our line monster. Okay, so I'm going to match the crayon to the color marker that I used. You don't have to do that though. If you want to use a different color, you can. And I'm going to color up and down, but it's kind of awkward to do that like this. So I'm turning my paper to make it just a little more comfortable. My hands and my arm and my fingers. And it's going off the edge a little bit, but that's no biggie because I can clean my desk when I'm done. Those of you, well, I guess right now we're all working from home. Be sure if you get crayon or marker on your table or your counter or your desk, wherever you're working, be sure you clean it up after. Ask your mom to give you, or dad, or grandmother, or aunt, or whoever you're with. Ask them to give you a cleaning wipe or maybe a paper towel with some of that blue cleaner on it or whatever it is you use at your house. And clean off the crayons and the markers. Don't leave it on your furniture. But again, talk to a grown-up first. All right, so look how nice that looks. So I did the green, and now I'm going to do this color. Again, I'm turning it to the side because it's a lot more comfortable to color. Now, Miss Thompson is able to do this really fast because Miss Thompson has been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this longer than you guys have been alive. So I'm able to do it pretty fast and still do it neatly, but you're probably going to take a little more time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fast forward to finish coloring this, and you are going to hit pause and finish coloring yours, and then we'll catch up when we've colored our monster from the bottom all the way to the top of his head. But don't color the inside of his eye, okay? I may come back after I get to about here, but don't color the inside of his eye, but I'm going to color from here all the way up to the line I made for his head, okay? So hit pause and finish coloring, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so my monster is all nice and colored and finished. Notice I did color the inside of his mouth, his tongue, the inside of his ears. I left the eye white and I colored all that white space. The only white space I'm leaving is inside the eye and behind the monster, but other than that, I'm done. And I can't wait to see yours. Um, if it's okay with your parents, have them take a picture of it and upload it to that Google form that I have on my site. That's on the little blackboard that's on the right. That looks like a little notepad. And be sure you fill out that Google form. Get your mom and dad to help you fill that out because that's how you get credit for it. And if you anytime you upload your picture on that Google, I can't talk. Anytime you upload your picture on that Google form, Miss Thompson's going to put it in a special virtual art show, unless of course your parents don't want me to. And at the end of the year, an art show is basically a place where we display everyone's art. And so yours will get to be on display for everyone to see. But you need to upload a picture on there so Miss Thompson can see it. Okay? If your parents don't want you to be in an art show, then just don't upload that picture. Just fill out the Google form. Okay? And if that doesn't make sense, you can ask your mom and dad to email me. Other than that, like I said, I'm excited to see it, and I hope you guys have a great week. See you soon.